feel like she's aimed this way, Kelly,
right?
Which is scary.
She's got a live arm too, so it's coming with a lot of heat.
Free ball from Atwell. Backside for Nold, who rises up and terminates from the right side. 5-0 run for the Golden Bears.
Golden Bears are running some tempo to that right pin too, so it's allowing Nold to beat the block. Plus she's got that power arm, so look out.
She had 26 kills in the regional final, a 5-set win against St. Cloud State. Concordia St. Paul had a tough schedule throughout the regionals to make it here to the quarterfinals. Cross-court swing for Sealing. Back row, Williams, freshman from Chicago. Sealing, a lot of swings early, and this one squeezes through the block from the outside.
You can already tell the experience factor that Ellie Sealing is bringing on that left pin. Was a national runner-up her freshman year, but she's using the seam of those blockers' hands so well.
Yeah, that's a good point. This senior class, they were here on the national stage as freshmen back in 2022. So while it's been a while for the Golden Bears to reach the quarterfinals, first time since 22, some of those players are back. Tipped over by Atwell. Cooper, a tip out of the middle, her third kill. Hot start for Kelsey Cooper.
Kelsey Cooper showing off her craftiness there. We've seen 2 back-to-back swings by her that's showing off some power, then go into the tip shot and finding the donut in the floor. It's going to prompt a timeout from Gannon.
It was a 3-0 start for Gannon national titles. So they are one shy of that, and of course could tie that here this week. That's the plan for Concordia St. Paul. They're on a 7-0 run. And now it's an 8-0 run, the attack error for Sydney Wake of Gannon.
It hasn't been a lot of attack errors right now for Gannon, but Golden Knights have to do a better job of staying in system and handling the service pressure so they can activate their middles.
Both teams with a very high hitting clip for the year. Cross court for Atwell, and that is wide left. Gannon hitting 254. Concordia St. Paul 287, which is 4th best around the country. Golden Bears, though, they only hit 168 in their regional final win. Back row swing for Williams, snaps the run. It was a 9-0 run for Concordia St. Paul. Williams, the freshman from Chicago.
Williams loves the big moment, and I love the look by Arslan going back to her on that back row attack.
Out of system kill, that's McKenna Nold. There wasn't much there, but she still gets the kill for the Roddy Antenna.
McKenna Nold has that ability in out-of-system balls to bail out the Golden Bears because she has such a live and terminal arm.
Also a really good blocker, team high 101 in blocks this year. Overpass kill for Ellie Sealing. And it's all Concordia St. Paul right now.
Concordia St. Paul just looks super loose right now, not feeling the pressure in any way. This is a goofy group.
Serve receive for Fowler, the freshman libero. Right side attack by Wake. Backside, back to Nold, another kill. That's her 4th.
Golden Bears are just doing a phenomenal job of finding her in one-on-one matchups on that right side, so she's teeing off down the line.
4 kills for Nold, who hits 270, a good hitting clip for the year. Gannon tries Atwell out of the middle. They do a good job of moving her around, and she terminates for the Golden Knights.
One of the keys for Gannon to get back in this first set is to be able to get both Casey Smith and Atwell more in rhythm and involved in this offense.
Good handle on serve receive, not an easy one. Hard off the block for Ellie Sealing. Bump set by Fowler. Left side swing, Williams, her 2nd kill.
Williams does not play like a freshman, loves the moment. Got to recognize who is the hot hand right now for this Gannon offense and keep feeding Abby Williams.
Serve received by Robecki. Kill out of the middle. Milena Straub, the first time we've called her name today. The junior out of Jordan, Minnesota, her first kill today.
One of the biggest challenges that Gannon is going to face in this Concordia St. Paul offensive lineup is just the speed right now that the Golden Bears are running in transition.
Service air for McKenna Nold. has her 88th this year. High ace, high air. Team high 49 aces, team high 88 airs. High risk, high reward for Nold. Off speed from the left for Ellie Sealing. Williams attacks, met near line. Nold was right there. Sealing goes off the block. Wake recovers. Near side for Williams, who goes through the seam.
Williams doing a really nice job of changing up her shots, getting set all over the court right now, using that block to her advantage.
That is 3 kills already for the freshman from Chicago. Waterman sets up Sealing, who cuts it in.
Smart decision by Sealing, takes a little bit off of that ball, so able to just kind of chop it lightly off the top of the block.
Concordia St. Paul will use 2 setters, Audrey Waterman and Reagan Hickey. Ellie Sealing with the serve to Fowler, the libero. Bump set goes to Williams. Waterman, the setter right now. She sets up strong for her 2nd kill on 2 swings.
Waterman clearly has a great connection with Straub. On the same page, running that quick in the middle in the transition offense.
These are 2 young setters for veteran head coach Brady Starkey. Waterman, a redshirt freshman. Hickey, a sophomore, but her first year at Concordia St. Paul. So both setters are setting for the Golden Bears for the first time this year.
Coach Starkey said those 2 setters, Hickey and Waterman, have been absolutely critical to this team's improvement, especially offensively, getting back here to Sioux Falls.
Those setters a big reason why the Golden Bears hit 287. An ace from Ellie Sealing, her 39th this year. She was the leader in aces a year ago for the Golden Bears. And this has been a spectacular start for Concordia St. Paul after falling behind 3-0 early on.
This has just been a textbook start for the Golden Bears, and so much of that is just when you have some veteran players like the Sealing twins who are experienced.
For Concordia St. Paul. And the overpass attack goes in the net for Straub. And that might have been the easiest swing during the run.
Well, that's one of those plays as a middle. You have to make sure you're tracking that ball all the way over the net, because that's just a ball you absolutely feast on. It's one of your favorite points to be able to hit.
Shaped away by Nold. That's an ace, 2 straight for Gannon. On the ace for Williams, her team high 49th. And if nothing else, Gannon looking for some momentum into set 2.
They have the right person at the service line to get some.
Waterman sets up Snoozy, who tools the block, and it's set point for the Golden Bears.
Block was there and set up, just has to make sure they turn their fingers back to the inner part of the court so you can't be tooled out of bounds.
The other Sealing twin, Cassie Sealing, will serve it to Gannon. Tresser, tough angle cross court. Bump set into the back row to Noel, down the near line, and that touches the near line and in.
Just an open net for Noel to tee off on, and it has been an offensive clinic for Concordia St. Paul in this first set. It started at the start.
Argue about their particular region, but ranked-wise, the Central region was probably the toughest.
Yeah, I asked Coach Starkey about that, actually, why Concordia St. Paul is 6-1 against top 10 teams, and he said there's something about this group, they really get up for the really good team. So what you're seeing right now playing out here in the postseason.
They are probably even better than their 29-5 record indicates because of their strength of schedule throughout the year. They're in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, which is always a tough league with Wayne State and St. Cloud State as well. Minnesota State, which was in the last top 25 poll, ranked 25th. So routinely throughout the year in conference play in the Northern Sun, you're playing ranked opponents. Nold from the right side. This block will stay in for Gannon, and that'll help.
Gannon needs more of that, sealing the net, taking away some of those cross-court angles from McKenna Nold.
Gannon had 10 blocks in their regional final win against Indiana, Pennsylvania. Had a good pass there by Cassie Sealing, who has to free ball it over to Gannon. Good approach and a kill for Abby Williams, who was the best attacker in set one for Gannon.
Williams, just a freshman, but has had the hot hand. And Arslan, the elite senior setter, doing a nice job of continually feeding her on that left pin.
So a good start again for Gannon. They led 3-0 early in set one, and they lead 4-1 right now in set two. But in set one, the tables turned quickly.
Right now, set two, Lauren Atwell is all across the net, closing blocks. Has been a big part of this good start here for Gannon.
Service there, almost bounced over there for Tresser. Either team aces a ton, 1.8 aces per set for Gannon, 1.9 per set for Concordia St. Paul. Right side, Sydney Wake off the block. Setter now is Hickey. She goes backside for McKenna Nold, who terminates from the right antenna.
Nold is just capitalizing. That block is still on its way up as she's swinging down into it. So taking advantage of the giant seam in it.
One-handed set by Arslan, tipped down by Milena Straub at the net.
Straub doing a nice job. The nice awareness in transition. That was a super tight set to the net and had trouble saving it.
Service there from Kelsey Cooper. And in the road squad, the 7 seed. Concordia St. Paul, the home squad as the 2 seed. They won by 15 in set one, despite trailing 3-0 to start. Overpass swing for Smith, and Sealing can't keep it up.
When you are facing a 0-1 hole in the quarterfinals, you have to be able to put away balls like that on overpasses in the middle. Nice job by Casey Smith.
Smith, a nice addition this year for Gannon. Transferred in from Division II Edinburgh University. Spent 3 years in that program. Gannon lost a lot from last year. They brought back some key pieces as Noel terminates from the right. They graduated 4 All-Americans, so it's pretty special that they're back here despite that.
And Coach Darling acknowledged that at the beginning of the year. He didn't quite know what was going to unfold for this team, but this upperclassmen group, the veterans on it, really put a big emphasis on team building.
A big part of their success has been the play of the freshman libero, Alexis Fowler. That was a huge hole when Emma Hall, their 4-year starter at libero, an All-American, graduated. Matt Darling said they had massive questions in the offseason about who would take over that role. And Fowler has taken over and then really grabbed a hold of that role.
Fowler's been the unsung hero of this Golden Knights team and doing it as a first-year player. Fowler
on serve receive for Gannon. Slide play to Smith, who drops it in for her second kill, both in set two.
I like that decision by Bangasu Arslan to go to the slide play off of 1 foot, running Smith. We've seen Atwell at times try to go to this, but it's one of the hardest plays in volleyball too to defend. It stresses the defense a lot.
Serve receive for Cassie Sealing, the slide for Straub. Straub sends it deep, no touch.
And now it's just being able to capitalize on these Concordia St. Paul errors. If you're Gannon, go on a couple point scoring run here. Get a little momentum back.
Deep serve handled by Cassie Sealing. Slide again for Straub, controlled by Williams. Williams out of the back row, comes flying in and drops it in back line.
That back row attack has been really effective for Gannon when they've been able to find the freshman Abby Williams back there, because you typically have a one-on-one block up against it and so much open court on both sides of that block.
That is her 5th kill already. Serve receive kind of breaking down in this set for Concordia St. Paul, but an out-of-system back row kill will do the job for McKenna Nold.
That's what makes Nold the Division II ABCA Player of the Year. Her ability on broken down plays, out-of-system balls to be able to terminate at a high level.
Cassie Sealing serves it to Williams. Arslan on the outside for Tresser. In the middle to Cooper. Back row swing for Wake. Outside a left-handed tip by the Sioux Falls native, who's back home this week, Kaylin Snoozy, her second kill.
Smart shot by Snoozy, and she had a shorter blocker on her in Arslan, who's just 5'8", so taking advantage, pushing it over with the left hand, scrambling a bit.
Service here by inches. That's the fourth air on the service line for Concordia St. Paul.
The biggest challenge for the Golden Bears in this set is just going to be matching the intensity and energy they came out with in that first, and not letting the gas pedal come up at all.
Clock late to close on Snoozy, and it's a net violation on Atwell. It was almost a wide open area there for Snoozy. The block was really late.
It might have not mattered, even if, despite that error, probably was going to score anyway.
Probably some extra incentive this week for Snoozy back in her hometown. Atwell's attack out of the reach of Ellie Sealing.
Getting Lauren Atwell in a better rhythm here in the second is going to be absolutely critical for this Gannon offense, who depends so much on their middles. Coach Darling saying that they've got 4 really capable middles. He said, if I could run a 4-middle offense, I would.
We saw really good middle play earlier today in our first match as well. Gold was trying to go opposite side of the floor. It wasn't there.
Very rare hitting error from McKenna Nold, who's been so good terminating balls out of system.
Bangasu Arslan, the setter, serves it to Ellie Sealing. Nold off speed, and she catches Gannon off guard. Took something off it.
What makes McKenna Nold so difficult to anticipate as a defender, because she has such a deep toolbox of shots, and she mixes them up so well. Going to the roll shot over the block, finds the donut in the floor.
Already 9 kills for Nold. Overpass goes to the Golden Bears. Cooper, kept up by Gannon. Back row swing, Williams, who tools the block of Cooper.
Abby Williams, not playing like a freshman whatsoever. She has been the go-to attacker right now for Gannon. The one really bright spot on this offense against what's otherwise been a challenging day to get things going offensively.
Dresser serve is gathered up by Robecki. Right side Nold with a good approach. Saved by Gannon. Free balled high by Bangasu Arslan. Right side for Nold as she crushes it home.
It's a tough angle too, going 4-4, but Nold, she gets high, she's terminal, and she's got the power arm. That's a potent trio of combinations.
She has an approach. Good luck.
Right?
Hard to defend. Backside to Wake, kept up by the middle blocker, Cooper. Free ball from Nold. Bump set Arslan. Off speed from Williams. Good approach for Sealing, but defended well by Gannon. Diving dig, Robecki. Cooper sets up Nold, who will free ball it again, back line. Williams uses the arm of McKenna Nold.
Another smart shot by the freshman, Abby Williams, who continues to power this Gannon offense as the Golden Knights build a 4-point lead here in the second set. Nice answer by Gannon.
Up 2 sets, 1 against Angelo State. Lost the final 2 sets, lost 15-6 in the 5th. Last year they were the 6th seed, this year the 7th seed. Side it out for Concordia St. Paul. Once again, Nold is high ace, high air. Had a service there earlier. This one an ace. Number 50 for her this year.
That ball just dove at the last minute. Coming in with some pace. Bombs it to the back line, basically. Right behind all the back row defenders. Just clips it in.
Right on cue. High ace, high air.
Right?
And if you're Brady Starkey, you don't change things, because even if Gannon defends it, it's really hard to defend if it stays in play.
What's interesting about Concordia St. Paul is that Coach Starkey actually, he's one of the only coaches I've ever seen that doesn't actually call serves. Most coaches, you're telling your server what zone you want to serve into. He does not do that. He lets the servers have the freedom to serve how they want.
He's been at this for a while, 23rd year for Brady Starkey at Concordia St. Paul. They've been a national power for a while. That slide's working for Gannon with Casey Smith, her 3rd kill on her 5th attack.
And I like that Gannon is getting their middles more involved. A lot of that's been because the first ball contact's been better this set.
3-point advantage here in set 2 for Gannon, trying to tie up the match at 1 set each. Williams sends it to Sealing. A tip over the blockers for Straub. Slapped over by Carly Weber, who just came in, the freshman from Iowa. Rolled by Snoozy. Bump set goes to Tresser. One-handed dig for Nold. Snoozy denied. Back to Snoozy. This time she'll tool the block of Casey Smith.
So it's just a little bit late to close that block, so it allowed Snoozy to go off her outer hand as that press late to get over the net. Snoozy, the Sioux Falls native, taking full advantage, going right back to her in transition.
Arslan on the slide for Smith. That continues to work for Gannon.
The slide is one of the hardest plays in volleyball to defend because you are trying to track a pinner moving to the antenna. So you have to mirror the hitter, and plus this run with so much speed off of 1 foot.
Smith had 25 kills in the 3 regional matches combined. Once again, a nice addition after transferring in from Division II Edinburgh. And now an ace for Gannon. And this one comes from the serve sub, who's been really good in this role the entire tournament. Going back to the regionals, Meg Kalinowski.
Kalinowski doing a great job of serving the seam between the 2 back row defenders in Sealing and Nold.
She served it in the hand of her teammate Atwell right there. The ace for Kalinowski has now given her an ace in 3 straight matches. Before the regionals, she had only played in 2 matches the entire year.
But coming in and doing her job.
Played in all 10 sets in the regional. She has really evolved in that serve sub role for Gannon. Through the seam goes Tresser.
Better attacking decisions by this Gannon offense, who's not shying away from this Concordia St. Paul block. They're finding the holes and the seams in it right now and picking it apart.
Bangasu Arslan, a really good server, sends it to Cassie Sealing. Nold the tip, Arslan gets there. Tresser, dug out by Ellie Sealing. Cooper around the block and down.
Golden Bears do such a nice job of getting their middles involved in transition. When you're able to run your middles, you typically have a one-on-one block, so advantage Cooper.
Well, Becky will try to go on a point run for the Golden Bears. They trail by 3 in set 2. Arslan on the slide to Atwell, who found the opening. The mid-air adjustment right on top of the 10-foot line.
Nice hustle, though, by Cassie Sealing. Almost got there on the pancake. Just another good decision. That slide attack off of 1 foot has worked really well for...
Leading 21-17. Right side Noel. And Concordia St. Paul will side out and get back to the service line with Cooper.
Love the decision. When you need a point, you need a big side out, you go right to your All-American Player of the Year.
Good serve by Cooper. Atwell from the middle, no touch.
This is where Gannon has to make sure that they're managing their errors. You can't let one error balloon into 2 to 3.
That's a quick timeout for Matt Darling. He can sense it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's
kind of about his team this year.
Gannon is from Erie, Pennsylvania. They play in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. They won the Atlantic region. Backside for Sydney Wake, and she terminates a big swing for Wake. Maybe the biggest swing of the day so far for Gannon.
Yeah, huge swing, and we haven't seen a lot of swings or points from Wake so far, but Gannon's doing a nice job of mixing up their offense right now and keeping Concordia St. Paul guessing defensively.
Fowler, a high short serve to Cassie Sealing. Pushed over and in by McKenna Knoll. Took something off it, and she continues to shine with 13 kills on 22 attacks.
Knoll just has great hang time too, so she has that ability to make mid-air adjustments when she's able to read the block.
Left side Williams rolls it to Ellie Sealing. Strong crushes it home.
Helena Strong did such a nice job of working in transition, came over on that block, and then transitions fast and hard to the middle, allowing her to be run on that quick.
High ace, high air for Nold. It's a critical time for an air. She can't really pull her off the floor. You want her on the floor, so that's kind of what you deal with. 23-21, Gannon by 2. Really an overpass. Free ball now by Waterman. Slide to Smith, gets a block touch. Out of system. Ellie Sealing. Arslan chooses the outside for Williams, who buries it.
Williams does such a nice job of disguising her shots. It looks like she's coming in on that approach, going to swing cross court and just redirects that ball through the seam of the block down the line.
Set point for Gannon, but first a timeout from Brady Starkey, his second and final timeout here in set 2. This has been good resilience shown by Gannon. Every time Concordia St. Paul makes a push, Gannon's able to respond here in set 2.
A good punch back by Gannon, and it's what you'd expect, getting good upperclassmen leadership, despite the fact that their freshman Abby Williams has stepped up in this match. But right now, it's all started with that serve receive and the first ball contact being much better.
4 matches today in the quarterfinal round. The winner of this one will play Point Loma tomorrow in the semis. Point Loma looked really good earlier today against a talented, experienced Bentley squad. Point Loma 1-3 in their first ever quarterfinal appearance. And we've talked in this match about balance. We saw that on full display for the Sea Lions earlier today.
The balance is the hardest thing in postseason volleyball to defend, because it really stresses you defensively. You can't key in on 1 or 2 players in particular, and that's exactly one of the advantages Point Loma had in that first match, and it's the advantage we're seeing Gannon have now in the second set. Is the block of Concordia St. Paul is late to close because the offense is getting spread around a lot more.
2 service errors so far for Sydney Wake. She keeps this one in play to Concordia St. Paul. Sealing cross court. Fowler got enough on it. Free ball to cross by Tresser. Left side back to Sealing, denied by Smith. Sealing out of system, dug by the freshman Fowler. Left side Williams, controlled by Nold. Nold gets a block touch. Took a little bit off it on that swing.
It's a great look. You just, as a setter, especially when you're a